Solo.
And hello! Welcome to Solo Playthroughs. We're going to a galaxy far, far away to play with the space chickens. And I gotta tell you, that might be my favorite thumbnail I've ever made. And I don't know. I crack myself up, people. So if you're not laughing, just know that I'm laughing because I think I'm funny. And as I've said before, Sarah, Mrs. Playthroughs, used to tell me that I was funny a third of the time I tried to be, but that my average has actually improved over the time that we're together. I think that her sense of humor has just improved, but you know, the truth is probably somewhere in between. Yeah, baby, I'm excited to get back to Gaia Project. It has been a while. I don't even remember who I played with the last time. I don't know. It was somebody, I'm sure, and there was someone in the chat who was telling me I was doing it wrong, but we still won, so who cares? Here we are. I will say Hadsch Hallas is probably one of my weaker factions. I don't fully understand how they're supposed to come together, so we'll see if I can work out some strategies in real time here today. The against the Atoma, I find them the toughest. I find the highest scoring Atoma of the 7, and we'll see if we can't kind of channel some of that Atoma magic into us playing as the Hadsch Hallas here today. Alfred Wallace says, "Woo! The game that led me to the channel. I did not know that. That's very cool. Thank you for sharing that. One of my favorite factions, and another snowy day. Let's do this, and it's a fine thumbnail. Thank you. I'm glad somebody appreciates the genius. I mean, that is what Hadsch Hallas looks like in my head. So I don't know. It is what it is. All right, let's make this thing happen. So I'm going to get my board game helper. I almost said app. It's not an app. It's a website. Someone's live on my channel. Again, I'm going to go look into that. Board Game Helper, where are you, my friend? I think this is it. Yes, it is. BoardGameHelpers.com. Love it for Gaia Project. Makes setup, the randomizing of setup super good. Random, advanced, one player. I am not a robot. Uh-oh. I need to identify all the stairs, people. I think, nope. It said I didn't do it good. Traffic lights. All right, traffic lights was the ticket. We're good. We generate the board. So we'll get our Atoma last. I'm going to go get some of these out of the way first. So our round boosters are going to be 2 credit in income plus a thumbnail. I know the light is going to go crazy as I'm setting up. Again, I cannot turn off the auto light feature of this camera. It is a huge downside of this camera, which is otherwise perfect for my needs. So sorry, bear with the flickering. That will kind of improve as we get into the gameplay. We have a +2, I'm sorry, this one is 2 credit in income plus a QIC in income. That's a terraforming step plus 2 credit in income. That is +2 power to my cycle and an ore in income. We have 1 point per Gaia planet plus 4 credit in income, and then we have 3 points per research lab. Again, those are for when you pass, plus a knowledge in income. The rest of these can go out of the game. We will do the text over here. The Federation token that's going to be at the top of the terraforming track is going to be 8 points plus 2 power in your cycle. The advanced tech tiles, again, we have the Lost Planet token already in place. The advanced tech tiles are going to be 2 points every time you make, 2 points at the time you take this for each Gaia planet that you have colonized. This is every time you pass, 3 points per research lab. At the top of the AI track, we're going to have 2 points at the time you take this for sector that you have a colonized planet in. This is every time you pass, 3 points for every Federation token you have. On the economic track, which is obviously hugely important for us, 2 points every time you move up on a research area. And then in the knowledge track, a once a round thing where you can use an action to get 3 ore. Remember, to take one of those, you need to have a Federation token to flip. You also need a Federation token to flip if you're going to try to move into the 5th section of any of the research areas. We start up +1 in the economic track. We start with 1 QIC. I will talk about the special abilities of Hadsch Hallas in a second. The standard tech tiles are 7 points. Just here's 7 points for you. Don't spend it all in one place. I don't know what that accent was, but it was kind of fun. This is going to be, after you take this, 3 extra points for each Gaia planet that you colonize. This is makes your federations and your academies worth 4 power instead of 3 power for all purposes, including power cycling and forming federations, which is the primary consideration generally. This is 1 knowledge and 1 credit in income. That is on the Gaia forming track. Not amazing. 4 credit on the economic track. Oh boy, that is my lucky day, kids. That's a great tactile for us there. And then here we have 1 knowledge for each planet type that you have colonized at the time you take that. Here is 4 credit of cycle 4 power, like the fact that that's down there, 1 ore and cycle 1 in income, and then just immediately 1 ore and 1 QIC. I'll do these next. The scoring bonuses are going to be the number of planets, number of structures in federations. Now for the Atoma, that just means the number of structures they have on the board -1, and then we have the number of satellites on the board is going to be up there. Neither of them are going to require us to look at endgame scoring when we choose where the Atoma is adding mines. So that is nice. One less thing that we have to consider as we play today's game. The round boosters are, sorry, the round scoring bonus tiles are 2 points for every mine you build during round 1. That's kind of nice. We're going to have 5 points for every Federation token you take in round 2. That's unlikely to be a thing that we do, or maybe, probably not. It's going to be 5 points for every research lab, I'm sorry, every planetary institute, or I think I said the wrong thing before. Yeah, planetary institute or academy we build in round 3. It's 2 points for every research area we move up in round 4. And 2 points for every terraforming step we take in round 5. That's really nice. That should work well. Maybe kind of blitz the terraforming track, which is a track I really like to go up normally anyway. And then we have 5 points for every academy and planetary institute we build in round 6, which is interesting. Don't hate that. We might want to get our last academy on the board in round 6 anyway. All right, so that's out. Our map, our beautiful, beautiful map. I'll take the Atoma cards over here. We're gonna need section number 6. We'll start with that. That's 5. It's going to be the last one I look at. Of course it is. That's there. We're gonna put this somewhat like so. We have number 2. Number 2 is gonna be here. That should be about right. Number 3. Number 3 is going to be here. Number 4 is going to be down here. Sorry for that. Number 1 is going to be over here. Number 7 is here. And number 5 is here. First try. Look at me. What a day. All right, well, let's kind of move these out over here. I think that makes a bit more sense of the board. All right, moment of truth. I'm going to roll a d6 to figure out who we are up against. Remember, if I pull the Itars, I will use the grays instead of the whites. The whites are just a little bit too finicky for the camera for some reason. So, booyah! I'm going against the Terrans again! We just faced these suckers. They are like, no! You beat me, but we're back. And what are you going to do about it? So I'm going to get the blue markers out. The Terrans are going to be +1 on the Gaia forming track. They'll start with us at the 10 there. Economic, booyah. This comes out. Let me get all of their structures. We don't need these. We are going to need the satellites, obviously. Don't need the Gaia formers. Don't need this. So it's got to remember to put satellites on the board every time we build a structure for the Terrans that is not directly adjacent to one of their existing structures. Eight mines. And all of these will go over here. So I'll just keep them down here. That'd be better. So the Terrans, again, that's their Atoma action. Their Atoma action means they move up, plus they move up one on specifically the Gaia forming research area. They're going to place a mine within range 4. The tiebreaker is the transit planet, and then also get 2 points. Cool. Got a text. I will respond to that later. This can come out the game over here. Now we're going to figure out what what round booster they take. No, first we have to do placement. Yeah, so they're going to place 2 mines closest to the center. That's there and there. That's pretty clear, so that's helpful. And then we're going to go ahead and figure out what round booster they take. So we flip this over. They're taking this one, so they're taking the terraforming step on me to start the game. Probably one I would have pretty strongly considered, so that's not ideal, but we'll be okay, I think. And then we have to take, I'm playing on the hard mode, so we're going to get all the cards that have the green little box at the bottom, and then we're going to add number 9. That gives them one more turn around, and it's specifically, if again this card comes up, it will be an Atoma turn. You can again continually increase difficulty by just adding one additional card. I think there's 2 more levels of difficulty that I recommended in the rulebook. I don't like playing above hard. At some point, you're just become like, you'll feel like you're just managing the Atoma because they'll have so many actions. For me, again, like the mini game for me is, can I score over 150? If I don't, that's probably a bad game. I probably did something very wrong. Ideally, can you get to 175, 200? I think is a more, those are like, hey, that's a really good game, right? So there is a little bit of beat your own score that kind of bleeds into this because of that, but I think the mechanics just are so interesting, and the puzzle so interesting, and the Atomas are so interesting that for some reason it doesn't bother me at all when it comes to this game. First player token, we'll put it right on top of my chickenness. His chickenness, no, that's terrible. I'll just put it right next to that. Let the chicken breathe, Greg. We're gonna add one more card to the Atoma's deck for the first round. We'll put this there, and then we're gonna take 5 more cards. 4 cards come out of the game. This will be the rest of the deck. That'll be added 1 card per round, and those are out. We'll put some little tokens there, the things I do to kind of help remind me of certain things. So I'm just going to put our starting things over here. We need for endgame scoring, 1 on each of these. Again, I do all of that at the end. Usually we have extra tokens up here to help kind of figure out placement for Atoma Mines, and I will take 2 gray cubes for the dummy player for the endgame scoring. Come on, satellites. All right, my fingers are fat, so that was hard. Satellites, the dummy player has an 8, and the dummy player has a 10. We're going to shuffle this extra card I got into this deck of 7 cards, and away we go. Mike Owens, another game. Hold on. It's a fine thumbnail. I wish you could set the factions in the Board Game Helper app and then have it rig up a balance setup around them. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. That would be very, very cool. But I can cover up the bottom of the Terrans card because there is no ongoing ability with the Terrans, so I think that will work. All right. My goals in the game I've been interested in and have no idea what's happening at all at any point. Happy Wednesday, y'all. And Phoenix Knight, what's up, Eric? How are you, sir? The Terrans are back for revenge. I gotta tell you, Eric, every time I see you post about a long time. So it's a thing. It's tough, man. The Scarlet Keys expansion was like, I just did not like it on such a visceral level that I was playing a lot of Arkham with my 2 friends, and I did not buy Scarlet Keys. One of them did, and it just was like kind of a miss for all 3 of us. And now one of them wants to go back and start the start Scarlet Keys over, and I'm like, let's play Dunwich or Carcosa or Forgotten Age or anything else. Yeah, I really just did not like that expansion, unfortunately. I get that a little more balanced. All right. So, don't do that. I'm trying to give the Terrans a little bit more room to breathe. That will work. I like it. Let's go. Oh, no. So we're going to take these 8 cards that the Atoma starts the game with. We're going to move 3 sideways. We put 5 on top. We'll put this all down here. And let me get my little stones that I use to remind me to score the Atoma every round. And then also remind me when it's possible end of round. Things that I am likely to forget. All right. I'm going to place my 2 starting mines. I obviously want 1 in that dude's grill. The rest are all on the edge of the board. Wowee. Would you look at that? That's easy to terraform too. That's not so easy to terraform too. That's next to a transcendent planet, but I don't think I'm going with my Gaia former, although that wouldn't be the craziest thing. That's kind of a late game. If I want to get some transcendent planets, right? Because then I go there. Orange is 1 away. Orange is 1 away. I mean, the problem is I need somewhere to get to this freaking round. And if I get a second QIC, woof. No likey this setup. That is not a lie. Can I get 3 power in my cycle to get a terraforming step? Yeah, I very much prefer to snag that. So the Terran snagging that for me is not great. They're little jerks, I tell you. All right, the Transdam boys are gonna start spreading. Start spreading the news. They're coming this way. Little Frankie for you. The Terrans like red planets, and the Terrans like white planets. I have an orange here. Is Gaia forming nuts? Gaia forming is probably nuts. Because there's no upside. Because the Terrans are going to gobble all those up. I mean, any resources I spend there would just be an absolute waste. We're going to go over here because it's the easiest thing to get to. And we'll just figure out how the heck to get around the board a little bit. I mean, navigation chat is going to be super important. This blue planet is a nice idea. I mean, I could use that to extend my range. Again, you have natural range of 1. You could spend a QIC to get range 3, get on that blue planet, and then I'll be adjacent to the orange. And then from that blue planet, I can get over to that Gaia planet maybe. But we got some, we have some issues to work out. So again, 3 red planets on the very outside of the map is going to be a fun little wrinkle to this game, I think. So that's that. Being said, I like the nonlinear aspect of Charlotte Keys personally. Definitely too much text, though. Not looking forward to recording all that audio. Oh my gosh, dude. I didn't even think about that. It's going to be like a 2-hour video just from the audio. And Mike Ellman says some early whoofs. Yes, if you took the under on how long it would take me to say a woof, you should go to the window and collect your prize, sir, because it is a woofy kind of day. Let's make this magic happen. I'm going to do my first turn. Who's excited? I'm going to take my round booster. I'm going to get income. There are like so many things I need to do before I do what I said I was going to do. That was a sentence somewhere. Ooh, that's interesting. I could get a double QIC there. Now I'm rethinking it. But do I want to get on a blue? Oof. And that just gets me into no man's land. Yeah. I think this is still better. I barely. Oh. All right, we're gonna get this tile, and then we'll go from there. Let me read what the Hadsch Hallas do. I'm gonna read all the flavor text about the Hadsch Hallas and tell you how cool they are and what they're all about. All right, that's done. Make up a story. Tell me something. It's crazy. All right, Planetary Institute. So the original special ability with the faction, the Planetary Institute, when we build the Planetary Institute, I can spend credits instead of power to take free actions that allow you to gain resources. It's really interesting, but remember, you still need credits to do other things, right? So it's not like the exchange is cheaper than it would be to suspend power, right? But it's like 4 credits I can get a QIC, 3 credits I can get an ore, and then 4 credits I can get 1 knowledge. Again, that's fine, but you still need 3 or 6 credits for a trading station. You still need 5 credits for a research lab, and you still need 6 credits for an academy. So it feels almost a little bit like a trap to me, unless you're gonna but it does again, and you're still not getting a tech tile for building that, right? So you still want to get a tech tile early. if you can get up the navigation track, I mean, sorry, the economic track, you just really lean into getting as much credit as you can, and then get as much of these off the board as you can. There is an engine there that's super interesting. I just have never, I don't think I've ever hit the sweet spot of what that engine can be in my games with the Hadsch Hallas. And again, it hasn't been a ton of games, but it has been enough that I probably should be better with them than I am, considering my experience with the game. But I digress. Some of these factions just don't click with me for whatever reason, and that's fine. Let's go to income. So we have 5 credit. So we have 15 to start. Remember, 15 over here and the 0. That gets up to 20 credit. All right, so 3 from there, 2 from there. We're going to get a QIC because of the round booster, so it gives me a second QIC. I know some people just like track QICs on here. I don't think you ever have enough to really justify that, but it's not a terrible idea. And plus, I like playing with them. They're fun. And then we have a knowledge from hither. So that is fine. Now I will go ahead and I will do my first turn. I really want... Man, we'll see. We'll see if I can cycle in the power to make this happen. But I'm going to build a trading station there. We're spending 2 ore, so I go from 4 down to 2. Oh, I forgot to take my ore. I have 3 ore from there. I was like, something feels like I'm missing. Yeah, we have 3 more, so I get up to 7. So I'm spending 2 ore, so I go from 7 to 5, and I'm spending 3 credit. I go from 5 to 2. I am in the neighborhood of that, so I can spend a reduced cost for the trading station. We're going to put this here. That goes there. That doesn't do anything with bonus points. It just gets me adjacent to this dude. All right, the Atoma's turn, and there's no planets here. I want to make sure that all this is visible. I don't know. We'll see. So the Atoma comes off, so that's 1 card. So that's the support card. So they're doing 1 less Atoma action. That's interesting. And then we have their first main card. They're doing a power QIC action. They're going to cover up this. 2 coming from the right is the randomizer, and that covers up that. They're going to get 1 point. So the Atoma is off to an early lead, 11 to 10. Go Atoma. I am going to spend 3 knowledge, move up there. And again, I'm really trying to blitz this economic track and just kind of lean into what Hadsch Hallas is. So that is my turn. No extra points for that. The Atoma's action support card goes away. This becomes a new support card. This comes over. The Atoma is placing a mine. Again, we do not care about any of the endgame scoring for the purpose of placing a mine, so we can totally ignore the icons up at the top. They're placing a mine range 2. Their first priority is fewest terraforming steps. There are no blues range 2. This is range 2. This is range 2. This is range 2. So Gaia planets, white planets, and red planets, and those all are range 2. So the tiebreaker after that is closest to me. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, look at that. They're all equal distance. So then we go to the tiebreaker here, directional selection. It's coming from the right and going up. This is going to be the first one that hits. So we're going to get a mine here. Because of the endgame scoring bonus, now we care about it. So we don't care about it for placement, but we do care about it once we place a mine. They're not directly adjacent. We get the first satellite for the Terrans. That's not in my neighborhood, so I can't cycle off of that. I really want them to do upgrades, but apparently they are not cooperating with me, and they're going to get 1 point for that. So they are up to 12. 12 pointos. Man. I mean, part of me is like, do I take the academy? No, I don't think that's a good idea. I'm not feeling it, people. I've just got to hope they have at least 1 upgrade card in their deck. So I'm going to build a research lab. So I'm spending 3 ore, 1, 2, 3, and 5 credit. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. This research lab is going to go here. That research lab allows me to, and I always, at some point during this playthrough, I'm going to forget to do a jump. because when I build a structure, it's just like, or when I take a tactile, it's a thing I do. So hopefully I forgot, I stopped like, undercutting myself because it's not a good idea. So I build a research lab. I get no points for that. I can take a tactile because it's one of those 5 structures. And again, on the Hadsch Hallas boards, on the most boards, but not all, that allows you to take a tactile. I will take the credit tactile. Ooh, where do I take that tactile? That is probably smarter. I will get the credit tactile next time. Oh yeah. Yeah, well, um I will get you next time. I want this. That's gonna give me way more options. So the cycle 4 tactile, which lets me move up on there, which lets me cycle 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, that is absolutely the play for me. All right, so we moved up there. I think we're actually going to just be able to camp there all game, which is super strong for the Space Chickens. So we're going to the Atoma's turn. The Atoma is going to go here. This becomes this new support card. This comes off. They are going to move up on a random research area. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They go up on the AI track. Again, that was the random number random number generator from the support card. They're going to get 0 points. That is all. As soon as I cycle 4 there, they're going to friggin' build a structure next to me, but that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to cycle 4 using this new tactile that I got, and that's going to let me move all these into here. What I really want to do is build a mine there because I need to find a gateway into the rest of the board for sure. Atoma's turn. This comes over. This comes over. They're doing an upgrade. I knew it. Those jerks. I couldn't do that around earlier. So their first priority and upgrade is to put a trading station into a planetary institute. They don't have any trading stations on the board. Their second priority is to do a mine into a trading station. So they're going to do closest to me, which is absolutely this one. Now, normally I can spend 1 point to cycle 2. However, I only have 1 left in my number 2 bin in my power cycle, so I can absolutely spend 1 less points than the number of power I move over. So I'm moving over 1. I can spend 1 less points to that. I can spend 0 points. So it saved me a point, and now I have everything in bin 3 in my cycle. And that's what I like to see. The Atoma gets 1 point. They're up to 13. My turn. I am going to do a power QIC action. I'm going to cycle 3. I'm going to do this 1 terraforming step. And with that, I can now go right into a build a mine action. I'm going to spend 1 ore. I'm going to spend 2 credit. I'm going to spend 1 QIC to extend my range by 2. Again, base range is a 1. Now my range is a 3. That's going to allow me to reach this blue planet. I already spent the ore and the QIC, ore and the credit and the QIC to extend my range. I'm going to put this mine out over here. And when I do that, I get 2 points from the round booster, so I go from 10 to 12. And now I have another planetary type. I can mark the blue, which again, I'm still really far from them. I was going to be far from them either way. I locked up a blue. Ooh, I can lock up that blue. Do I like that more? I do like that more. That's a better blue. Although, but that's, I'm so like cut off. This is a nice blue. It's a beautiful blue. It's a wonderful shade of blue. But the problem is I think it's gonna jam me up too much. I need to get out. I need to explore. I need to spread my chicken wings and be free. Yeah, the problem like here is too limiting. I mean, here at least if I get 2 more QICs, I can get into these Gaia planets. It gives me some access to the rest of the world. Whereas here now I'm like all on this side of the board. I have nowhere to go until hella late game, and I just don't love it. I mean, not that I love Gaia planets and whatever all that much either, but woof. Yeah, it's a really weird setup. I mean, he'll probably take that transit planet, which gets me in the neighborhood. I'll take these transit planets. I don't know. I think I have to go here. I really do. I think that's just the better place. Eric, yeah, no way record the audio story once and play the recordings for each scenario so I don't have to read it every time. Anyway, I'll shut up and troll you about Gaia Project now. Zach, Scarlet Keys is a story with a game. Wall of text is too much. I agree. Silver Fear, what's up, Brian? Hello. Almost missed this one. Dang, YouTube notifications coming late. Yeah, by the way, I'm starting 11 a.m. tomorrow and Friday, so early shifts tomorrow and Friday. They're going to be shorter games though too, so it's Sky Tier Horde, and which was a review copy sent to me by Sky Tier Games, and I have Black Sonata, which was they sent me other side room. The side room game sent me a review copy of the Fair Youth expansion. I purchased myself the base game, but excited about both of them. So Sky Tier Horde tomorrow, and then Black Sonata on Friday. And I know I'm going to call Black Sonata Black Orchestra at some point because that's how my brain works. when my brain works, which isn't always. All right, I kind of like where we're at. Maybe I don't know. Do I do an academy in round 2? That'd be crazy. Give me a QIC. I might need some QICs to kind of explore this path. This is going to be a very weird build today, guys. We're going directions Greg doesn't normally go, which is fun. Like that was my favorite part of the last game. Like it was a whacked out strategy I would never normally do, and I ended up doing the research lab because I like the advanced tactile, and it just all kind of worked in some glorious thing. And I think that's what this game does for me. That I just it keeps it in my top games list for sure. All right, the Atoma action. Dun, dun, dun. It is on. They're moving up 1 in the Gaia forming track. Bam. They're gonna place a thing on a transiting planet. Range 4, tiebreaker is closest to me, so they're absolutely taking that transiting planet, and I absolutely don't mind that. So that will work. I get to cycle 1 because I'm within the neighborhood. Again, I cycled 1. I spend 1 less than that, so I spend 0 points. And they're going to get 2 points. 1 and 2, they're up to 15. Again, they are in the possible end range, but again, the Atoma actions never have a red X, so they will always indeed do that. I am... I think I pass. Hold on to some of these resources. I'm very intrigued by the idea of building an academy next turn and getting... That's just crazy. I'm not forming a federation. If I wait to do the academy in round 2, obviously that has some utility. In round 3, I mean, because that's 5 points. I just don't think that's happening. 1 ore. I wish I had another... If I know there's another cycle, I can get some more credit. I'll be cycling 3, which is 1, 2, 3. I can add the 2 later. There's a lot happening here, kids. That's cycle 4. Yeah, I think I chill. I really do think I build my academy. That gives me a tactile, and then it doesn't... And then when I really start building trading stations, I can really start building this economy up, and maybe in round 3 I build this. I have a very weird idea of a plan coming together in my head, so we'll see if I can execute on that plan. But I mean, these are the 3 tracks I'm pretty much going to be hitting. You know, navigation is going to be important. This is going to be important if I can get the Lost Planet and get to the top of the terraforming. But I think I do want to camp myself there for the game. And the best way to do that is get the academy, get this tile, move up on that tech tile, on that research area, and I think that will set me up very nice for 3, 4, 5, and 6 is the plan. So I am going to pass, which allows me my first choice of these, and I'm going to take the one that gives me the ore, because the ore is going to be the thing that is going to be the hardest for me to get in order to justify building an academy next turn. and I keep the first player token. The Atoma is going to go there. This comes off. Possible end of round is the end of the round. So what's the Atoma going to do? Well, this tells them they're going to take this round booster for next turn. That goes over. They're going to add one more card to their deck from here. So 4 cards left here. They're going to shuffle all of these cards and get reset for next turn. We're looking at the round scoring bonus. The round scoring bonus, they're going to get 4 points. Now, you could just go ahead and give them all these points at the beginning of the game. I kind of recommend it. I don't do it. I prefer to kind of, like, I don't like the feeling like I'm 40 points behind from the very beginning of a game. But it's all the same. Over the course of this game, the Atoma's going to score 4, 8, 14, 19 points from those boosters, which actually isn't that much. So they are getting 4 points now, however, so they go from 15 up to 19, and then this tile is just going to flip over. All right, I'm still first player. That's all of the end of stuff. We have to remove these from here. That's easy. And now we go to income. Income, I'm going to get to cycle 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I can add 2, which I will do down here. And I have some ideas of ordering how I want to do some of this stuff. We're going to get ore 1, 2, 3, 4. That gets me up to 5. We get 2 knowledge, which gets me up to 2, and we get 3 credit. 1, 2, 3, 4. I get another ore, so 5 ore. That gets me up to 6. 5 ore. Ooh, look at that. Forgot about that. 3 credit here, 3 credit there. I already did the cycle 3 from there, so 3 credit. I get 6 credit. I go from 10 to 16. That is cool. Atoma's doing nothing. I will check the chat. Fina Eric says, wouldn't your brain working require you to have a brain? Yeah, no kidding. Private Vendetta. Hello. They should make Black's not available in Europe instead of sending out review copies. Oh, that's a good dig. I did not know it was not available in Europe. That seems like it would be a very natural fit for Europe with the Shakespearean theme, but maybe Shakespeare isn't as popular in Europe. Yeah, that's really weird, dude. To be clear, I only got a review copy of the expansion. I did not get a review copy of the base game. So I did not request a review copy of the base game. I just bought it. And then I was like, oh, there's an expansion supposed to be good. Let's see if I can get that. So I don't know if they would have approved the base game or not for me. I don't know. It's always a crapshoot with these publishers, man. But yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I know I take for granted how easy it is for me to get the games I want compared to some parts of the world, for sure. All right, I think I'm gonna do it, kids. Yeah, let's make an academy happen on turn 2. So I'm gonna spend 6 ore and 6 credit, and we're building this academy. We're building it right the heck there. Not that one. I want the QICs for sure, because that's, I think, my path to get around there. That gives me a tech tile. I'm gonna take this one, and that moves me up on this, and that could be a beautiful situation that I think will serve me very well. But it maybe won't. I don't know. Only time will tell. Just YOLO. Only try Gaia strategies once and then see if they work. All right, Atoma's up. Atoma's going to do a power QIC action. 4 from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're taking the credit. I should go here and here just to keep things simple. I do have 10 credits left. They are going to get 1 point. And so they go from 19 up to 20. My turn. What is my next play? I might try to get a trading station out. I think trading stations, and then I do want to get the Planetary Institute out. Navigation track is indeed a priority, although I don't love. I mean, if I'm going there anyway, like, that tech tile's not crazy, but I'm just worried the Atoma's gonna gobble up a lot of those suckers. It's the same reason why I didn't want to do Gaia forming, because the Atoma is really gonna take those transiting planets high pry for them. But if I take, I mean, those 3 Gaia planets, 3 points extra, like, it's a little point chasey in a way I don't think is always a good idea. My cycle's interesting in that I don't want to spend the 4 and then I'm like really gonna have a hard time getting these things around. But I'm also clearly not close to a place where spending power, building a federation, even is a possibility. Although that would give me 5 things. All right, so what I'm gonna do is just cycle this stuff and then start doing some power QIC actions and kind of take stock of where I'm at. So I'm cycling 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. 2 more knowledge, I think, could be really good. Can I get up to range 2? Will indeed be a question. Because if I get to range 2, I can get the knowledge. Yeah, I'm a little compacted here. Can just build a trading station there. Gives me an opening for my planetary institute, and then I can just start spending credit like crazy to turn it into what I need. All right. It's a beautiful day with the space chickens. All right, the Atoma is upgrading. They are absolutely upgrading. Their first priority is to upgrade their trading station. Oh, by the way, they should have a satellite here. Forgot to do that. Their first priority is the trading station to Planetary Institute. They get that out early every game. I can spend 1 point to cycle 2. So again, I would have to spend normally 2 points to cycle 3. I'm spending 1 to cycle 2. All my stuff's there, which is totally nice. And they're getting 1 point. They have 21. My turn. I'm going to. I want the ore and I want the credit. I don't think I'm going to try to build this turn. I want the ore and the knowledge is really what I want. I'm going to have 1 less knowledge next turn, which is interesting. QIC and the credit would let me get to that Gaia planet, so maybe chasing that's just a bad idea. And then I'll just have to get my jumps elsewhere. I just will never get a jump from that tile, which is fine. You know, I could also like that advanced tech tile is interesting to me. I mean, that's 2 points. Getting that tile that early in this game, that could really add up. The thing is, I need a tile that I'm happy covering over, right? So, because advanced tech tiles have to go on top of other tech tiles, like standard tech tiles. So maybe I take this and then just cover it over with that at some point. Because then you start doing the math of that. Like if I move up 10 more times, that's 20 extra points over the course of the game. Obviously, there's an opportunity cost though, because if I'm not taking an engine builder, I'm taking a point chaser. This game sometimes will punish point chasing strategies if you do too much of that too early. But I digress. I have to get some more ore to do anything this turn, right? So I'm going to spend the 4. I'm going to go there, and we get 2 more ore, like so. Now, obviously, I can spend QIC as ore. That's a problem. I'm going to need the movement. I've gone up. I blitzed the economic track, so I'm very slow in the navigation track. So, using the QICs as ore instead of expanding my navigational abilities is probably not the greatest idea. Atoma's turn. They're doing a faction action. They're moving up on this track. They will definitely get to the top of that. They're going to place a mine, range 4. They're definitely going here because it is the transit planet closest to me, within range 4 of them. They place that mine. They place a satellite. I can cycle 1. They're going to get 2 points. They go from 21 up to 23. My turn, I'm going to cycle the other 4. Let me get that knowledge while I have a chance. And that goes from 2 to 4. Atoma's turn. Hey, an Atoma faction action. All right, range 4, close to me. These 2 transland planets are both within 3 of me. Oh, they're also going to move up top on here. So that's the 3rd time they've done that this game. So that's absolutely correct. Neither is within range of me to cycle off of. Directional selection says we prefer this one. Now, this is directly adjacent to one of their existing planets, so I do not have to give them another satellite. They're going to get 2 points for that. They go to 25. They're crushing me, dude. The early game getting smushed by the Atoma. Oh, so much QIC, goodness. All right, we're going to spend this for knowledge. We're going to move up on here, get another QIC. The Atoma's turn. They're doing a power QIC action, 2 from the right. They're getting 3 points. They go from 25 up to 28. My turn. I'm going to build a mine. I think I really want a trading station too, though, which I can build here. I think, let me lock up that tile so I don't, that thing, so I don't get totally jammed back here. This planet 3 is like, where's all my friends? This is going to be a tough build for a federation when there's like nothing next to it. That's always a good idea, but I'm very worried about getting totally cramped in over here. So I'm going to spend 1 ore, 1 QIC to extend my range, 1 QIC to settle on a Gaia planet, and 2 credit. Remember, if it's already a Gaia planet and you're not doing a Gaia forming project, it's 1 QIC to actually settle it, and I still need to extend my range because I'm still only at navigation capabilities 1. So I spent everything I need to spend. I'm putting this mine here, and I think that's good. That's another type of planet, and yeah, I do dig that. Where we'll see how this economic track blitz works for me. The Atoma is going to go possible end around. No, they are placing a mine. I'm glad I took that Gaia plan when I did, although I'm not sure it would have mattered. Oh, they probably would have grabbed it actually. That's really interesting. Yeah, I think I did snag that from them just in time, because their priority is going to be fewest number of terraforming steps. That's 1 terraforming step. There is no red planet within range 2. There is no blue planet, which is 0 terraforming steps. There is a white planet within range 2. That's it. So that would that would have been a range 2 as well. Closest to me, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would have only been 3 away, so they absolutely would have grabbed that. So I'm glad I grabbed that when I had a chance. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all 4 away from me. Yep, no matter how you cut it, directional section, again, it's coming from the bottom, going right to left. So this is going to be the first one we hit. They're going to grab that planet. They're going to get a satellite. They're going to get 1 point. They're up to 29. The Terrans are controlling the board. I already gave them the point. All right. I'm going to do this action to get another QIC. The Atoma's turn, possible end of round. It is. They're going to take this. So they're getting the knowledge, which isn't great because I'm a little knowledge poor. This goes over. They're going to add 1 card to their deck. They're going to get 0 points from the round booster. I'm not getting a Federation token either, so we'll just flip that over, and then we'll kind of shuffle this up. Private Vendetta, well, it's in French and Italian, but I'm not fluent enough in both languages. Yeah. The fact that that's a consideration is impressive to me, because I'm just like, yeah, dude. Ignorant American. I know 1 language, and some might say I barely know that one. So, some might say, some may intimate as much. Oh, man, do I convert this QIC? I think I do. I'm probably going to convert this QIC into an ore to get a trading station. I can get 2 could I get 2 trading? No, it's never happening. But I think I want to get 1 trading station out. Give me some credit. Get my Planetary Institute out next turn. That's going to be 5 points. So I think I do that, and then I just try to figure out this beast mode cycle with all the credits in the world. I have a bunch of power, so I could build an early Federation too, which isn't crazy. Not crazy. So done here. Toma is set for next round. Look at them. My turn. I'm going to turn this. I'm going to use this QIC as an ore using this conversion table over here. QICs again are the most flexible. I'm going to spend this other ore, and I'm spending 3 credit, and I'm placing this trading station. So I'm going to get the credit back, in a sense, right? Because I spent the 3 credit. I'm going to get the 3 credit back in income, and this is a dead spot. So I'm just covering over this dead spot here with this. And maybe we'll just do this. So, that's a weird spot for that. I love that tile. Normally, I don't know if we're going to be grabbing it this game. I'm also not sure if I'm going to get a research lab out next turn, because I do want to get more tech tiles. Remember, if I grab this tech tile, I can move up on any. If advanced tech tile, you can move up on any track. I will need a Federation token though before I can grab that. I'll need a Federation. So that was something else I should have considered before. And I'll need a Federation token if I want to move into number 5, which obviously I don't want to move into number 5 until the 6th round. On the economic track, because you lose the income, it just becomes one-time bonuses, and obviously that's not super helpful. I'm no longer first player, so we're going to put this sucker over here. And I will pass because all I have is 5 credit. So all these can come off. I'm gonna take a thingamajigger. Terraforming Step versus a QIC is interesting. Am I trying to get a mine out? I don't know. I don't think I am. Yeah, I don't think the Terraforming Step's gonna be that helpful. I'm gonna have my hands full just trying to get my trading station and my Planetary Institute out. So I think I take the QIC all day. I could also thin out my power cycle too, because I'm gonna have all this cycling and I just have so much in there. Yeah, I'm not gonna take the Terraforming Step. I'm gonna grab this. The one you put back goes on the right. Always. And this comes here. All right, income. We have 3, 6, plus 6, 12, plus 6. We get 16 credit. Really? That's a lot of credit. 6, 12, 16 credit. All right, we're at 21 credit. Look at us. Yeah, I think getting this out is gonna really make some sense. I mean, hopefully we can. Maybe I found the beast mode for the first time ever with Hadsch Hallas. We're gonna have 5 ore, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So being up there is really sick. We are gonna get a QIC from here. We get 1 whopping knowledge. Don't spend it all in one place, kids. And we're gonna cycle 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 go from bin 1 into bin 2. Otoma is up because they passed first. So the Otoma action off the top, I'd like to see that. Limit their Otoma actions for sure. They are doing a mine. They're doing range 2 because of the random number selector. And they are looking, again, the same mat. That is 2 terraforming steps. Oh. Where did I build their last thing? I took that mine. That was goofy. They should have taken that Gaia planet. Because fewest terraforming steps, that was range 2 of me, so that should be there. That should definitely be there. And at that point, I could have just cycled 1 because they passed before me. I don't know how I missed that because I remember I went here and here. And I went there, but I counted down here instead of to that. That's obviously closer. Yeah, I would have been able to cycle 1 last turn because I definitely have things in my cycle. If that's wrong, someone can let me know. But yeah, that should have been claimed by them last turn, which actually jams me up a little bit. So that's not great. I guess they're doing it this turn. I guess the question, they're going to do it both. They're going to do one this turn, one last turn. The question is, could I have cycled one or spent the point in cycle two? So in some ways, I played it wrong in the last round, and it was actually playing it to my disadvantage. So somebody can let me know if I'm wrong about any of this. But yeah, now they're going to go there and there, and they're going to do directional selection. And now they're claiming the white, and they're going to put this in here and a thing, and they're getting 1 point. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I marked those three, and for some reason I forgot that was only now 2 away. Otherwise, they would have grabbed that planet. So yeah, I just messed that up for some reason. So again, if someone wants to confirm that, that'd be amazing. But so I did cycle the extra one because I had a this was the last thing I did last round, and I went after them because they had already passed. So I should have been able to cycle one because there was a mine there. If I had done it wrong, if I kept it wrong, I would have been able to spend a point cycle two, and I probably prefer that. So not necessarily a bank error in my favor. I absolutely want to get my Planetary Institute out. I think that is high pry. So I'm spending 4 ore, and yeah, and I had 21 credit total. Yeah, so spending 4 ore and 6 credit. I'm putting this out. Since I put that out, the round scoring bonus, I'm going to get 5 points, so I go from 11 to 16. So definitely, finally making a little bit of a move on some scoring. I gave them the 1 point already, so that's good. We're doing this move over here. This comes out. They're doing their Atoma action. They're moving up here since they're on level 4 and they're still an advanced tactile. They're just going to take that off the board. They're going to place a mine range 4 on a transit planet. Closest to me is going to be this one for sure. That is directly adjacent to a planet that I already have, so I don't have to put out a satellite. I can't cycle off of that, so that's done. And now we're going to get 2 points. They go from 30 to 32. My turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm interested in making a play at a Federation. I obviously need more ore, and lots of it. And lots of it. Am I using these QICs as ore? Remember, I can start cycling credit as ore too. Just don't want to spam that too much. But I'm going to spend 3 credit to make it 1 ore. Thanks to that, I'm going to spend 2 ore and 3 credit to put a trading station here. Yeah, I'm really tempted to make a Federation. Keep those trading stations out. Don't turn them into research labs. And then try my hand to get around here. My navigation track is still crap. That's still really bad. This could be nice. Move up there. At some point, this QIC is like starting to look at these. Could be interesting. Again, you four QICs. You take a tech tile. So there's a lot of interesting possibilities here. This goes here, and I'm sure I will choose the worst one. So we're moving up on a random research area, 2 coming from the right. That goes up there. I'm glad they did not chase me on the economic track. They get 0 points for that. My turn. I'm going to spend this to get a QIC. I mean, one of the problems I'm running into, if I'm not getting mines on the board, I'm going to be really, and I'm putting out a bunch of trading stations. Remember, I'm going to be really limiting my ore income, right? So then something like this becomes important, but that's going to give me more power in my cycle, which again, if I'm not building a Federation, is going to create an interesting tension. Toma's turn. They're going to move up on their highest track. They move up here. So now we ignore the Gaia forming track for the atomic purposes for the rest of the game. They get 1 point there, up to 33. So they will start blitzing other tracks now, which is fine. But it means that this is now dead space. So every time they have the atomic action, move up in the Gaia forming track, it just doesn't mean anything. It's basically a dead thing for them. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Wolf. I could do a Gaia forming step here, and that's a federation. Oh, I dig that, actually. And it gets me on orange. Kind of like that. So I'm gonna Gaia. I'm just gonna cycle 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Atoma's turn. They're going to do a power QIC action, 3 from the left. They cover up that ore spot. They get 3 points. So that's like a more advanced card for them. Obviously, the point totals are going to start going up. My turn, I'm going to take 1 power out of my cycle, cycle another one, cycle 3 to get this terraforming step. I'm going to spend this QIC as if it was an ore, and then I'm going to spend 2 credit, and I'm going to place this mine here. That's really nice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can build a federation there next turn, and that works out very well with how my cycle is laid out. And that gives me another planet type, which makes Greg happy. Bam, just like that. Atoma's turn. It's doing an upgrade action. Again, its first priority was to do a trading station into a planetary institute. Planetary institute is on the board, so I won't mention it again. Second priority is going to be a mine into a trading station. All 8 of its mines are on the board. It's going to go closest to me. This one is the closest one to me. I can spend 1 point to cycle 2. I will not, because I'm about to fill the Federation and take those things out of my cycle anyway. So 1 point there. My turn, I'm building a federation, as announced. I'm not a liar. So I take these 3 out of my cycle, and I'm putting satellites here, here, and here. That is 7 power, so probably never getting that tile this game, which is going to be interesting. I'm going to obviously need some ore, so I'm going to grab this federation token. That's 7 points. I go from 16 up to 23, and we get 2 ore, which gets me there. So high priority for me is now to start building around this guy. That's just set. To spend more resources over in that section of the board is not going to be really helpful for me. I really need to try to get something else going on over here. It's easier said than done. I mean, this is not a crazy place just to pass and kind of save up resources for a bigger turn next turn. And I think that bigger turn would include obviously blitzing the navigation track now, getting to the point where I can get to some of these planets a lot easier. These are really the 2 tracks I just want to really hammer home in rounds 4 and 5. I just have very little knowledge, and that's a problem. I could also add those 2. That's not bad. Wondering if I take that terraforming step. Probably not. All right, Atoma's turn. Because I just built the Federation. Possible end around is the end around, so they keep the first player token. They're going to grab this tile, so that makes my decision easier. I was between the terraforming step and the 2 extra credit in my cycle. They're going to get 0 points for the round booster. I can flip this over because I'm not building anything else this round. And they're going to get 1 more card into their deck. I think this will work. Wonder if I can get to 4 federations. I'm just gonna be at this point. It's gonna be hard just to get to 3, but I really need to get up that navigation track. It will really help a lot of things for sure. All right, bam, bam. My turn. There's nothing else I want to do. I will indeed need more knowledge. Navigation track. Super interesting. These come off. So I'm passing. Don't think it makes sense to turn that. Yeah, I'd be losing ore. Like, I think the math doesn't make sense. I'm just gonna pass. Grab this. This comes into the right. And now we go to income. My income is 3, 6 plus 8, so 14. I go from 7 to 21 again. Is good. I'm gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ore, so I go from 2 to 8. I get 1 knowledge. And now the cycling gets interesting. So I can do this in any order I want. So I can cycle 4. I'm going to take this source, add 2, cycle 4 from there. So 2 and then add 1. That's fairly strong. I do think I snagged that knowledge because we get 2 points per research area jump. I want to get to, if I get the 3 on the navigation track. I mean, obviously 2 is going to be important. I don't know if I'm grabbing a tech tile. I can always spend 4 credit to get 1 knowledge now because my academy's out. So, or my planetary institute's out. So lots of options again. Again, a Toma card comes off the board early again. We have building a mine, and this one's going to be worth 3 points for them. So again, their cards get more point rich. And sorry, those have been off the board for a little bit. So I guess it's only been the support cards, so that actually works pretty well. They are going to build a mine, range 2, fewest terraforming steps, which I think, and they have 1 mine here. I think it's just going to be the only option is there. They haven't had any of the 4 rangers, which is interesting. This goes there. They get another satellite. They're going to get 3 points. They go from 37 up to 40. My turn. I will cycle 4 and get that knowledge before the Atoma does anything terrible to me, because again, I'm really eyeing that research area, the navigation track. Atoma's turn. They're going to place another mine. Nope, they can't. They have no more mines. So when they have no more mines, they do an upgrade instead. So looking at mine closest to me, both those mines are range 2. Those are the winners. That's interesting. They're going to do directional selection come from the top, so it's this one. I can spend 2 to cycle 3. I will. 1, 2, cycling 3, and then 1 point for the Atoma. Or the Automa. One of those 2 is correct. One of these days I'll figure out which. I'm going to go up the navigation track. Bam! That gets me up to level 2 of the navigation track. That's 2 points I went up on a navigation track, so I go from 21 to 23. Atoma's turn. They're doing an upgrade. Again, same analysis. They're going to upgrade over here. They're going to spend 2 points. I could spend 2 points to cycle 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And then getting 3 points again. 1, 2, 3. Look at them. Look at them go. Proud of them. They're really growing up in the world in a way that I'm excited for. So I have 3 here. I'm going to cycle these 3 to get this. Nope. I'm going to gamble a little bit. I'm going to cycle 4. Let me get everything into here. That just makes more sense. Thomas' turn. Doing an upgrade action again. All the other mines are range 3, so I can't cycle all this anyway. Directional selection. That's actually range 4. This is range 3 for me. It's coming from the bottom, so I don't know why I'm going from the top. This is range 3 for me, so I can't cycle off it, but they have their fourth trading station on their board. Eventually, next time they will turn a trading station into a research lab. They're going to get 1 point for that to get to 45. My turn. I'm going to cycle 3. We're going to do this. I'm going to spend an ore and 2 credit. We're going to get this mine here. Start building up around my friend. Ooh. No. No. That's 3 terraforming steps. That's 2 terraforming steps. Spend a QIC. I'm actually going to cycle 5 while I can. And we're going to do this. It's still an ore and 2 credit. I'm going to have to spend a QIC though, but I want to get it easier. I want to make it easier for me to build trading stations, right? Without having to spend the credit. And I can lock up some more planet types. We'll get this one. So I spent 5 to do that for a double terraforming step instead of the single terraforming step, which would have been the orange. It also gives me another planet type, which is going to be important if I ever take that tech tile. But the fact that it's on a knowledge track, might not be a thing I'm that excited to do. But now it's going to be super easy for me to build a trading station there. I mean, in theory, I might want to do both too. So that's another thing about that. So if I can go trading station, can I get an academy? Do I do a research lab? Or do I do a research lab? Again, the knowledge income is there, which is rough. I can cycle. I have a bunch of credit too, so don't forget I can start converting things in all sorts of good ways. Atoma's turn goes here and here. It's doing a power QIC action, 2 from the left, 1, 2. So there goes that ore, 3 points. It goes from 45 to 48. It's a lot of 3-point cards in that deck for sure. Kind of curious to let the Atoma just play out the string a little bit. I'm going to take a QIC. Atoma's turn. Doing a power QIC action, 1 from the right, 1 point. I'm going to build a trading station, so 2 ore and 3 credit, so 20 down to 17. Replacing this here. Atoma's turn. They're moving up on a random track. 5 from the right. We ignore that, so they're moving up on the terraforming track. 0 points for that. I mean, literally, it's nuts. I can spend 8 credit to get a tech tile, which is like not the most insane thing I've considered. Terraforming steps are hella expensive for me. But I really wanted to get at this navigation track. I could spend 3 ore. That's another federation, which is nuts. I'm really locked in some not great ways. Which does make research labs a lot more attractive. It's just costing me the income potential again at 4 or 5. Or I don't do research labs at all. I just spend the 8 credit. I take a tech tile from here. Get the ore and the QIC that way. They cycle 3. Gets me a terraforming step. $17. If I spent 8, I'm down to 9. Get 1 back. Yeah, let me do this. I'm gonna spend 8 credit to get 2 QICs. So I'm at 17 now. I go down to 9. I get 2 QICs. Again, those are free actions. I'm going to spend those 4 QICs to get a tech tile. I'm going to take this tech tile, which lets me move up on any track because it's down here. I'm moving from this track. So I moved up on a track. I get 2 points because that's the round point bonus. It gives me an ore and a QIC as well. And since I went up on that track, I get another QIC. And I cycle 3 in my cycle. So a lot of things happened there, which was all fairly nuts. It was crazy, folks. It was crazy. Yeah. I kind of like that. I get another. I open that up. Do it. I could do some things here that I'm excited about. Atoma's turn. Potential end of round. It is the end of the round. They're taking this thing off the board, so they got the QIC, which I don't love. They're going to get 4 points for their round scoring bonus. They go from 49 to 53. They're adding their penultimate card there. I did say penultimate because it's a fun word to say. And we're done. Damsel, hey Shampoo, did you color your beard silver in the middle or color the rest brown? Looks good. No, it's natural. It's the only thing about my beard that Mrs. Playthroughs likes too. It's so weird. No, man, I wish I was that cool, but no, it just naturally goes gray in the middle. Man, I'm like a skunk. It's really funny. Shampoo was like the only word too. Every time I see it, it just makes me smile, dude. I'm very glad. It's the greatest like welcome ever. Shampoo or champoo. I'm sure I'm butchering the pronunciation too, but that's what I do. This I'm just gonna flip because I can. If I go up another track, I'll remember. So obviously I'm getting smushed in points, but this is totally normal with this game. I'm gonna take one of these out of my cycle, move one over. I'm cycling 3 over to do this now. I'm spending an ore and 2 credit and getting a mine here. Now I'm spending 2 credit, 2 ore, and 6 credit to build a trading station. So again, the fact that none of these things are awarded points for trading stations isn't great, but I really want to keep this up. Remember, I spent 6 credit, but I'm going to get 4 back now in income. Now I'm building a federation, which is interesting. And I think I take QICs. I like this way of getting tactiles. Can I get to the top of the navigation track? This is so silly that I am like, woof, just right here. This is my home. No one else can be there. Yeah, terraforming is going to be a thing. I'm not hitting the round scoring very hard, and I'm very aware of this. So I formed a federation. I'm going to take the I could grab the 2 knowledge. That's a thing. Oh, did I not take anything out of my cycle? I had 7 in my cycle. I moved 1. I do need to take 2 more out of my cycle before I forget to do that. So 2 more satellites. And I will take 8 points. And the 2 power. 8 points of QIC gives me some extra range. I mean, range 5 will get me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a good range. The problem is getting another trading station to make that viable, or get another tech tile to make that viable. Do I take? Yeah, I'm gonna somehow have to bliss this terraforming track, and I just have very little access to knowledge. That's interesting. Like, the more you turn stuff into research labs, though, the more you're kind of undercutting yourself with Hadsch Hallas, and I think that's the part of the puzzle I've yet to fully crack. I think I take the 7 points and the 6 credit, but again, in income, I'm going to be getting 14, 18, 22 credit. It gives me almost max credit, which I think. Wait, income we have 14, 18, 22 credit. 6 credit I can turn into a QIC, so there's no 4 credit I can turn into a QIC, so there's no point taking the 8 points in the QIC, but I can basically get 2 credit plus a QIC. With this tile, we get 7 points. I go from 23 up to 30. I take the 6 credit, I go from 1 up to 7. I think that will do. There's nothing like 5 points for Federation token. Like these, I like my engine. I don't love how this is coming together from a points perspective, and that does have me concerned, especially since I'm not in a very strong place when it comes to knowledge. But I'll have a ton of ability to build some things next turn. I do need to get up that terraforming track, however, and quickly. The other thing too is if I get the lost planet, I can just throw the lost planet out somewhere and just kind of ease some of my concerns as far as range, and I could save some QICs that it would cost to get in that Gaia planet, so that's probably a better play. The question is, how the heck do I get the 8 knowledge? It's going to require to jump. I could build 1 research lab. Wherever I build a research lab next, though, it's going to want to be in a place where I'm building an academy, because the academy will again be a big part of me getting my 3rd Federation. And but I don't need to worry about the academy too much until round 6, because that's when I'm going to get the 5 points for it. So, all right, lots of puzzly things to consider in this game for sure. I'm going to grab the terraforming step because terraforming is expensive for me because I'm not up on the track. I'll put this back here, and we'll reset all of this. I'm still not first. Income, we're going to get, again, 10, 14, 20, 24 credit, which maxes me out at 30. Or we're getting 3 ore, 4, 5 ore, so it gets me from 3 to 8. Knowledge, we get 1 knowledge. And cycling, I can cycle 1, 2, 3, 4. I can add 1 from this and cycle 4 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I grab that knowledge while I can again. With my bazillion credit. Move up on the navigation track, grab the lost planet. I can throw that out. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll be range 4 from that red planet. I can grab that orange planet. Again, I'm not close to them, so I don't want to get so far away that everything costs me $1 billion to upgrade. But they're they should be spreading out more too. So them being the Terrans. So let's make this happen. Tome action again on the top of the deck. That's nutty. They're moving up random number selection. They're moving up 2 from the right. They're there in the economic track. They get 2 points. They go from 53 to 55. My turn. I cycle this 4. I get 2 knowledge. Remember, I can always spend an ore to get +1 into my cycle too, so it's like one other thing to remember. Atoma's turn. They're doing a power QIC action, 5 from the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Glad I snagged that from them, and I don't need to terraform my step anyway because I have this. Oh, I never took my knowledge. They're gonna get 3 points. They go from 55 to 58. I'm gonna spend 4 credit to get another knowledge, but that transaction there, I'm gonna spend these 4 knowledge to move up on here. Top of the navigation track. Here we come. Lost Planet will give me some nice possibilities, I think. Five. All right, Atoma's turn. They're going to go up on a random track. 1 from the right, 0 points. Oh, that's crazy. I really don't like these, the way these things are situated. The tactiles are not in good spots. I have to form another federation to get to the top of the economic track next turn. Let me get this QIC and then evaluate my life choices a little bit. Atoma's turn. It goes there. This goes here. They're doing a power Q. They're doing their Atoma act, their faction action. They're already at the top of the Gaia track. They're placing a mine range 4 on a transitant planet. There are only 2 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one's the closest one to me. That is going to be separate from anything they have built, and they get a mine there. Or a satellite there, and they get 2 points. It gets 58 up to 60. Interesting. I need just to... Yeah, let me just get this Lost Planet. I'm going to spend 4 credits. 7, I get a QIC from that because of that transaction. I'm spending 4 QICs. I'm covering up this. I'm going to take a tech tile. I'm going to flip this over to get this advanced tech tile, which I can put here. I can move up at any track. I'm going to move up on this track. To do that, I have to flip this Federation token, and I put this tactile on top of this. Again, that was a one-time bonus, so I'm not losing anything out of that. I'm now at the top of this. I get the Lost Planet. I can put the Lost Planet immediately on the board, range 4. I'll put the Lost Planet 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll put the Lost Planet. Definitely don't want him to take that on me, so I'm going to go closer to the white. I'll put the Lost Planet here. That will work. All right, this credit conversion thing is bananas. Since I went up on a tactile with, I already had this advanced tactile, then I moved up on another research area, I do get 2 points. All right, so just remembering that now is going to be important. Atoma's turn. This moves over. This comes over. They're doing a upgrade action. They're upgrading a mine to a trading station. closest to me, they have no more trading stations, so they're actually doing their next priority would be a research lab to an academy. There are no research labs on the board, so they're going to do a trading station to a research lab. Trading stations are here. This is closest to me for sure. That becomes a research lab. I can spend 1 point to cycle 2. Don't mind if I do. They're going to get 1 point. Bam. All right, my turn. I'm going to cycle 4. Does that make sense? No. I want to make sure I get that red planet locked up, so I'm going to do 1 ore, 2 credit, and we're putting this thing there on the red planet. Again, I have range 4 now, so there's no terraforming steps for that. It just is what it is. It's just a flat awesomeness. Flat awesomeness. Probably going to that orange planet with this. This could be an interesting federation over there. Atoma's turn. They are doing a mine. Mine is now range 4. Fewest terraforming steps is obviously the blue planet. They actually have range 4 to it for the first time. They're going to put this here. Satellite. I can't cycle off of that. 3 points. 1, 2, 3. That was the first time they had place of 9 range 4. That was not the faction action, which is why that sat out there for so long. My turn. I want to get that orange planet now, so I'm going to do this terraforming step here. 1 ore, 2 credit, and I'm placing a mine here. Again, that is range 4 from both the lost planet and this. That's the terraforming step. Doesn't matter how I got it, so I get 2 points from that because of the round booster. And I'm already on an orange planet, so I don't need to check anything over there. I must want a white planet. Look at me. Done. I need another faction. Alright, Atoma's turn. This goes here, this goes off. They're going to move up their highest track. They have this one on the economic track, so they have to move up on that, and they're getting 1.65. They hope they do not start racing me too much for that. That could be bad, as the kids would say. Not that the kids would ever say that, just, it's a thing. Yeah. Woo, okay. Well, research labs are probably good. 7 points there. I could grab this one. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps there. Research lab will definitely help. Well, I need a research lab to get to my last planetary institute anyway. Question is there any chance I could do that all in one swoop? Probably not, but we're going to try. So I'm going to spend 2 ore and 3 credit to turn this mine into a trading station. It is within range 2 of that dude right there. I can get that planet too, but woof, that's a lot of satellites. That is a lot of satellites, kids. 9 ore. Atoma's turn. Atoma's doing power QIC action. 3 from the left. Well, there goes my chance at 9 ore. Not that I had much of a chance anyway. 1 point from them. They go to 65 to 66. I'm going to spend... I get ore there. I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3 ore and 5 credits. So I go from 15 down to 10. I'm going to put this research lab here. That gives me a tech tile. I'm going to take this tech tile because it's income. So why not? Nothing else is really working that. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, and I have that. Oh, this should be here. I'm sorry, not on the white planet. That should be there. I was like, I don't think I did both of those. Tempted to take the knowledge, but I'm wasting steps. It's just so not where I need it to be. I really want the Atoma to give me one more jump. I'd appreciate that, dudes. Yeah, I'm gonna take this one. It's so much knowledge, though, dude. But that's ore, and I think that gives me. I need 5 more ore. +6. I mean, it'd be nice if I could get the academy out just because of the production. There is something to be said about trying to. Oh, the terraforming steps, I'm sorry, are 3 to start the game. They become 2 when you get there. That's not to remember. I am trying to get on one of another planet over here. I mean, I could just do that one, which is like crazy, but it's so far over there. But that's a huge amount of credit income. But I'm already kind of maxed out, right? I mean, I'm at like 10, 14. That'd be 19 credit. 19 credit, 23 credit, 27 credit. So I get to spend everything because I'm going to get 27 back. Wow. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm going to take it and move up here and get 2 more ore. Gets me up to 3. Atoma's turn, possible end of round. It is not the end of the round. They're placing a mine. They're placing a mine range 2, fewest terraforming steps. They're looking at white or red planets. That will do. That's the only one range 2. There are no more Gaia planets. There's no more blue. There's no red. So they're going there. So they place that mine. It's another satellite. I get to cycle 1. And that's all she wrote for them. They're going to get 1 point up to 67. I'm going to cycle. Oh, that's. I'm going to move 1 out of my cycle, move 1 over, and then cycle 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And the order of that was absolutely important. Atoma's turn, potential end of round. It is the end of the round. They're taking this. This goes here. They're adding their last card. They're going to get 6 points for the round booster, 67 up to 73. Seeing the chat, Mike James, more Gaia, nice. I'm still bad at this game, Greg. Unfortunately, videos haven't shown me the way. I'm not sure this one's going to show you the way either. I feel cautiously optimistic. I've done something interesting, so that's not something I always say. This has definitely been a very strange build. I have not clicked very well with the oh, and I get 2 points. I moved up on the thing. I'm not getting a lot of points, and when I forget to take points, it doesn't help. Funny that. But there's a chance we're doing something awesome. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, a part of me is like I should get this out now, but then part of me is like, no, I gotta wait because it's worth a lot more next turn. I mean, doing yeah, so it'd be 6 and 6. I actually could get there, especially with that 4 power in my cycle. But it's probably not the wisest decision a young Greg could make. A little Greg could make. that. I move up there. Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any way I'm getting to the top of that terraforming track. Because if I get to the top of the terraforming track and the top of the economic track next turn, that's a big freaking round. That is a big, big round. All right, done. This is all done. Woo! I got 2 tactiles from this, which is nutty. All right, I'm going to cycle 4 to get 7 credit. That gets me from 10 to 17. So 2 and the 15. I mean, the crazy thing is I could literally turn that into 4 knowledge. And I don't totally hate that idea. Oh, him going there is also nice because I can go 1, 2 ore and 1, 2, 3 credit and put this out here. I mean, I could. Oh, that's interesting. I could turn it into 3 QICs, do that, rescore a thing, which would give me 2 more ore, which I'm very much going to need. Do have the ore there and the ore there. Did not take a Federation with knowledge, which I'm slightly regretting. Not strongly, but like seriously, dude, this is like 19 credit just from this. That's sick. Plus, yeah, I'm looking at 27 credit for sure. So I'm going to turn this 14 credit into 2 credit and 3 QIC. I'm going to spend those 3 QIC to do this. I'm going to rescore this Federation token. You can score whether it's used or unused. That's 7 points. That's 42 and 2 more ore. And if I get this up higher, then I could more easily claim one of these planets so I can be a more reasonable amount of satellites. If we count satellites that are on the board, again, this is not a satellite, it's the lost planet. The satellite's just marking that it's my lost planet. We are at 5. The Atoma is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oop, wrong thing. 9, 5. Planets and Federation, the Atoma has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So they're at 12. They're already better than the dummy player. Because again, yeah, we're just getting smushed there. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in Federations. So again, we're just trying to get better than the dummy player on all accounts. I mean, if I built that red planet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that would take 7 satellites, which is pretty sick. Not an absurd amount to consider doing, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to grab another Federation. This can come another. I don't think a 4th Federation is possible. So I think throwing this out there wide makes some sense. Getting that red planet is going to be the most cost effective. I don't need to terraform anything. That, if I get to the top of that, that gives me +2 to my cycle. So like, there are ways that I can get 7 satellites. I think all of a sudden that red planet's looking a lot more attractive to me than it did a few minutes ago. I'm passing. These all go away. We're going to get our income. Nope, I have to take a new thing. I get 2 from there too. The QIC is just as good now. I'm gonna take the credit. I would take that if that wasn't a Federation token up there. I mean, it's also crazy to. We'll see if I can get to the top of that terraforming track. That is absolutely high pry. Honestly, that might take too long. Does put grabbing that back into play. It's a lost jump, but I'll get that jump elsewhere. If I lose a jump there, I get a jump there, I get 2 jumps here, I grab that, I get this here, then where's my last jump? It would just, all right, 1 for the planetary institute, 1 for the academy. I get 2 out of that, and then 1 to do that. That's probably my play. Yeah, I think that's my best income possibility. All right, so income. 10, 19, 23, 29. So I'm maxed out at 30 again. Or is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or. We go from 3 to 9. Knowledge, we get 2. Power QIC, I'm cycling 4. I'm cycling 4. And I'm getting +1. And then I'm cycling 1 as well. And then we get the QIC from there before I forget. Power QIC. Probably take the ore. Being up with a 4 already and like no clear idea what I want to do with it, although I could spend 12, get 7 back. Do this, take that, start that process already. Or I could spend 6 and 6. Do I want the ore? I'll probably want the ore. I mean, I'm definitely going to get to the top of that too. All right, Atoma's turn. Power QIC action. 5 coming from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't hate that one. And 1 point for them. They're at 74. This game is making my brain hurt. I definitely want to grab that tile again because, again, my, well, I'm going to want to get that tile and that tile. That's a thing. So I'm going to cycle out 12. It gets from 15 down to 13. I get 3 more QIC. I'm spending 4 QIC to do this. I'm taking this tile. 7 points. That's 42 to 49. I move up on there. So I move up on a thing. I get 2 more points. 49 to 51. It's potentially the weirdest game of this I've ever played. Okay. Don't try this at home, kids. Atoma action. Move up on top of that, whatever. Transit planet. Tiebreaker closest to me. Range 4. They're both 2 away from me. Directional selection from the bottom. Oh, they have no more mines. So they are doing an upgrade. They're upgrading a mine to a trading station. They still have a trading station to upgrade. Upgrade 2, closest to me, directional selection. That is not 2 away. This is 2 away and coming from the bottom. I could spend a point to cycle 2. I could just cycle 1 for free. So much better that way. 2 points, they go from 74 to 76. Does that change what I want to do? Maybe. Maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nah. You're too close. I could do a terraforming set. The problem is if I terraform there, I'm not going to be able to get out 7 satellites. And wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. I counted 9 last time. 1, 2, 3, Wait, where do they just did upgrade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe I don't need 7. If I get the 6, it gets me to 11. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I still need 7 for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that's the same difference. That is the same difference, kids. That's what they say. All right, I'll do that then. I'm going to cycle this 5. Let me get another planetary type. That is going to be 2 terraforming steps. I'm going to spend 1 ore and 2 credit, replacing a mine here. So it's 2 terraforming steps, and I now am on the white. Whoo. Okay. Toma's turn. This goes here. This flips over. They're doing up on their highest track, which is here. That's super bad. 1 point. I don't know if they have another one of those, but that would be really bad. And I can't even get in there because I don't have a federation. So I just have to hope they don't steal that on me. And if they do, I'll cry. And that's fine. If you want to see a grown man cry, today is the day. So if there was the downside of me taking that advanced tactile is now, instead of them pausing to take that off, there's no stutter. They're gonna nope, right into the top. And that could be really bad for me. I'm spending 6. So I go from 8 to 2. I spend 6. I go from 16 to 10. I'm placing, especially the way I spend credits to other things, I was very much banking on that. This is going to come out. This goes here. I get a tactile. I'm taking this tactile, which moves me up on here, but it also immediately gives me 7 ore. So I go from 2 to 9. Yikes. Yeah, it's really bad. I have to do it in this order. I mean, well, I'll get a Federation token there. Yeah, I couldn't blitz it, unfortunately. We'll see. All right, they're doing an upgrade action. They have no more trading stations to upgrade to. Their next priority is Research Lab to Academy. Academy is going to upgrade here. I could spend a point to cycle 2. They're going to get 1 point. I will spend 1 point to cycle 2 just to give me options later. I don't want to form this federation yet. Wow, I'm going to need to. Yeah, I didn't think this through. I don't know the power. I can spend ore as power. I can get power 1, but the ore. I would like to be able to use this one more time, though, before I dump all the power out of my cycle. Let me cycle this 4. I haven't used this yet. That should not be there. I should have taken it off from last round. I definitely didn't use it because I had 1 from income, and I spent 12 to do the thing, which did the thing and the other thing. So not worried about that. So cycling 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Atoma's turn. Don't go up that track. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Bam! Top of the economic track. That's super unfortunate. Well, would you look at that, kids? The Terrans beat me to the top of the economic track. Oh, you see, and the world crashed around me just out of the most appropriate timing ever. I don't know why this thing doesn't want to stay. Stay! It used to stay. Woof. All right, well, we'll see. I'm going to cycle this. I'm moving up on here. That lets me cycle 3, which gives me 3 more in here, which gives me more access to that. Wow. It's not over, but That was not good. What the kids call that, that would be bad. It was really bad. I oof. Woof. Woof. Man, these tactiles are just garbage, man. They're really bad. Yeah, none of these tactiles gave me a lot of scoring opportunities for how this game was going for me. And there could be some user error in that, but it was not a great combo. Oh, when I built that, I do get 5 more points. I go from 50 to 55. The Atoma's going to get 5 points at the end of the round, so it evens out. But they're placing a mine. Range 2. Range 2, they're looking for reds, whites. There are no more blues. Reds or whites. There are no range 2. There's no Gaia planet range 2. Transitant planet is 2 terraforming steps, so that's range 2. That's range 2. They're looking for... That's range 2. That's range 2. Because again, they're now down on the 2. So orange or brown. There are no orange range 2. Orange or gray, I'm sorry. The grays range 2 are claimed. Nope, that's range 2. Woof. So grays or transdims are where we're at. Directional selection says from the top, it's going to be that one all the way up there. They get a mine and another satellite. I can spend a point to cycle 2. Actually, I can spend 0 points to cycle 1. It only looks like a total disaster, you hope, says Eric. Hello there, Space Chickens. What's up, Sagitt? How are you, sir? Remember when I used to call Sagitt Daniel? Those were the days. Spend 4 knowledge, move up there. I get 2 money, or 2 ore. Oh, I did it again. Whenever I move up to the last 2 times, I think it's only the last 2 times, but I spent that knowledge. I think it was 3 times. I think I moved up when I built this, but I don't think I moved up when I took that tactile or did those. I think I have 6 more points from moving up on research areas, but someone can check me on that. Pretty sure I keep forgetting to do this because that's a good idea. When you're losing, you definitely want to forget all your points. So if it's within 3, did I give them a point? I don't know. I'm all confused now. Someone let me know if I don't think I gave them a point for that. So someone can let me know if I gave them a point. I'm all flustered. Who cares? What are points anyway? Woo! All right. Well, they're already at the top of the Gaia Project track. They have no more mines to build, so they're doing an upgrade. They're doing a research lab, a trading station, to a. Oh, this is just sitting there. Woof. Trading station. Yeah, I probably should have spent that. Trading station to a research lab. Blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. This one. I have no more to cycle. They get 2 points. They go from 80 to 82. I'm going to do this to get a QIC because, you know, they're always fun. The Atoma's turn. They're moving up on a random track. We skip over these 2. 2 points. They go to 84. I cannot believe they got to the top of that track, dude. It's like kind of out of nowhere, too. It's so sad. This is me being sad. I'm going to cycle this 4 to get the 7 credit because that's just a no-brainer for me. It gets me up to 17. The Atoma's turn. They're doing an upgrade. Mine to a trading station. Closest to me is going to be this one. I could spend a point to cycle 2. There was 0 point for me to do that. 1 point from them. They're at 85. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to spend this to get a credit. I'm going to spend 2 ore to get 2 more credit. And then I'm taking 7 power out of my cycle. So I'm going to 2 ore to get 2 power. And then taking 7 power out of my cycle to get 7 satellites. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I only need 6 satellites. I did count that right the first time. Whatever. So 1 ore back. That's fine. That gets me probably in the lead for satellites. That's a good play for me. That gets me up to 11. I think the Atome is at 10, so we'll see if they build another mine. That gives me a Federation token, which I'm going to absolutely need. I think I take the 2 knowledge, because that will really help make it easier for me to get to the top of that, although if I... Yikes. We're out of Federation tokens. Yeah. I'll take this. It gives me 6 points. It gets me up to 67. Atoma's turn. Please end. Oh, it's placing a mine. What a jerk. Yeah, they're going to tie me now. That's... This has been rather unlucky. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Maybe. No, I think we're gonna get lucky. So no, they're gonna get that red planet. Oh, that's so bad, dude. It's so annoying. That's really unlucky. Man. Sad Greg. Yeah, they're gonna get that red planet here, which gives them 1 more satellite, which means they're gonna get to 11. Like, I just needed them to end. Just end. So they're tied with me. It's 3 points, 85 to 88. Ah, it's so freaking gross. Hadsch Hallas. Why? All right, I'm going to spend 4 credit. I never took my 2 knowledge. Did I take... I think I was there. I think they were on top of each other. So I spent the 4. I get another knowledge. Did I take the 6 points? Man, I'm struggling. I think I took the 6 points. I'm pretty sure I got the 61. Yeah, so I'm going to spend this 4 knowledge. I'm going to flip this over. We're going over to here. I get 2 because I jumped up. I get 8 more because I get that token. So 69 to 77. 2 more power in my cycle. Which is not fantastic. Woof. Atoma's turn. Please end. Oh, man. Moving up on the track. Moves up on this one. No points. If it places another mine and breaks the tie, we might have to start throwing some things, kids. This is really bad. This is just not very good. But we will do it anyway. And I don't know why I'm talking like this. It's really fun. I think I want the QICs. There's a lot more path to points. But I have no more knowledge, so you're not getting the QICs anyway, Greg. Well, I got 1 QIC. That's fine. Yeah, we're gonna spend the 3 credit and 3 ore and 5 credit. I'm gonna build a trading station. I'm going to build this here. That trading station allows me to take a tech tile. I'm going to take this tech tile. I'm going to cover over this. I'm going to build a research lab. I turned a trading station into a research lab. I have to flip this, and then I could jump up anywhere. I'm going to jump up here, which gives me a QIC. Thomas' turn, please end. Thank God. 5 points, 88 to 93. Plus or minus a couple. We had some scoring issues. Bunch of user error. All right. I moved up on a thing. I get 2 more points. I keep forgetting to do that. Score is totally legitimate. Get your asterisks ready, Sajid, because we got some problems. Oh, man. I'm wondering if I can even, like, rescore a tile. Or does it make sense to keep these 9 credits, do that? That's 3 points. I don't think I would be gaining much points here. I mean, I could spend 4 credit. Oh, that's interesting. I could do both. I'm going to spend 4 credit to get a QIC, spend the 3 QIC to do this. That allows me to rescore one of my things. I'm going to get 7 points, so 79 to 86, and 6 credit gets me up to 11. Toma's done. I'm going to spend 8 of those credit to get 2 QIC. I'm going to spend those 2 QIC to do this. That gives me 3 points plus 1 for every planet type, so that's 10 more points. That gets me 86 to 96. And that puts me in an interesting spot for endgame scoring. When I pass, I get 3 points because I have 1 research lab. 1, 2, 3. Again, that's for the rest of the game. Obviously, only worked for this one instance. And I did not move up on any more. I think I took the last 2 when I moved up on that. I mean, at this point, the scoring's a little suspect anyway. I'm not going to stress about it too much. Again, the scoring just kind of didn't work, but we'll see. Endgame scoring, I'm going to turn those 3 credits into 1 points. I'm at 100, and now we figure out the rest of this. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 things in federations, which is enough to get me past the dummy player. We're tied at 11 satellites to 11 satellites. It seems right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 to 11. So on that score, we're both going to get 15 points. So I go to 115. The Atoma has 93 to 108. The Atoma wins the second thing. They have 18 points there. They're going to go from 108 to 126. It's 18, right? Yeah, math is hard. I only get 12 points, so I go from 115 to 127. And now we do this. The Atoma is going to get 24 points. They go from 126 to 150. I somehow magically have 24 plus 8, 32 points, which gets me up to 129 to 159. So I think that's legit, right? Yeah, win. I mean, even if I forgot some points, like, I feel good about a 9-point spread. I mean, I would have had to forget a lot of points, right? So even if I forgot to score them twice or scored me one too many times, I don't know, man. That was a weird freaking game, and I don't know. My brain hurts. Woo! All right, let's make this happen. Someone is still at home. You were fine losing without my presence. Sajid, yeah, this was a fun one for like a year and a half. Quite enjoyed it. So me calling him Daniel. I know who I thought you were too, which is funny. I figured it out. It took me a couple of weeks. I was like, oh, that's why I thought he was Daniel. Mike James, you're gonna win by 50. Probably won't matter if you get a point. Yeah, it got a little bit. It got really tight there. Sajid, we don't play for the points. We play for the bad luck and other nonsense the AI pulls on us from cards. Cards beat human brain. Hey, Mike, how are you? Playing some Maze Knight lately? Have we? Says Sajid. Mike, I haven't been playing Maximum Apocalypse. City of the Great Machine is Scarface 1920. Got to get back to 12 times 12. Got to get back to my 12 times 12 soon, though. I'm super interested in Maximum Apocalypse. I will see if Rock Matter sends me a game so I can put it on the channel. I am definitely not interested enough to purchase it. And, you know, We'll see. I mean, I'm just at that point now. I'm like, I have too many games, man. I just cannot. But if they send it to me for free, I'll get it on the channel within a month, right? Because it looks cool. But I'm definitely like, I don't know if it's a me game or not. And if anything falls remotely in that category, it's a game that I'm not likely to buy myself. At least not now. When I clear out some of the backlog, then we'll start that. We'll have a conversation. Sagittarius is bad. I thought maybe you pulled out the old lady for a spin. Anyway, I'll kiss the finale. Cheers. Cheers to you, Sagitt, not Daniel. Oh man, this was a really weird way to play this, and I wonder if I played them closer to how they're to be played. Or like, where's the guy? There was like, I forget his name, but there was a dude here the last two times that was like absolutely railing me and telling me I was playing wrong, and I was like, dude, I'm more than happy with how I played. I think I was doing well. And of course, the one time, like, I would be really interested about other advice about the Hadsch Hallas, and he's not here, so it is what it is. But this was a fun. This was a fun playthrough, man. That's the last 2 3 times where it's like I'm going in without a clear plan of action and just kind of stumbled into something. That's gross. I don't love that. That cost me some points for sure, for sure, right? Because if I don't go up there, if I use that jump to go here, I mean, that's 3 or 6 more credit, and I cycle these 2, which turns into 2 more credit. I can turn that 8 credit into whatever I want. This QIC did nothing for me, plus that's 4 more points just for being up on top of that. I mean, I genuinely think that if I'm here, plus I have enough resources that I probably build another research lab, which is 3 more points there. I probably end up around 175 had the Atoma not done that. Right. Even if you want to say, well, they would have jumped somewhere else, but they're still going to end up with the same number of points. Right. So them getting to there was very, very bad, and cost me probably 15 to 20 points, just by the way things build in Gaia, for sure. Mike James, I like the Maximum Apocalypse base game more than the Wasted Wild expansion. Interesting, for what it's worth. Wasted Wild scheme's campaign focus, the base isn't, and explains the modularity much better. That is not an opinion I've heard before, and I will very much keep that in mind. So, cool. Yeah, I'm very, very curious, about a lot of what that game does, for sure. It looks crazy. It looks like a mishmash. I mean, again, it's Maximum Apocalypse, so I get it. So, I'm very intrigued by by the art and just some of the things, and like having I like Set a Watch a lot, so it makes me more intrigued than other things that Rock Manor does. Lawyer Up is a game that's a little bit too close to home for me, so I will be avoiding that one, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't think I need that game in my life. So there's a lot to unpack there. I'm really curious about their pirate game that's coming out, for sure. For sure, for sure. So I know they had a bit, they got hung up on that Funnigan Games fiasco, so curious to see how that works out for them. I was trying to get them to send me a copy of Outriders, and their inventory is just totally in limbo right now. So I threw it onto my the not the what's the next their Forsaken Isle or whatever campaign, and I'll just get it in a year. It's fine. Um, so I don't know how much I'm coming back to Set a Watch on the channel anyway, and when I do, I can do that without the Outriders campaign, the Outriders add-on. But yeah, this was super cool, man. I'm very curious if people have thoughts about Hadsch Hallas, and like taking stock of that, taking stock of like, man, them going there is kind of gross. Like they're not going to get up to the top of 2 tracks very often. I mean, obviously the Terrans have this thing where they're going to get at the top of 1, so they're more likely to get up to the top of 2 than others. But that definitely put me in a weird spot, um, in a way that just cost me a lot of points. But yeah, we were still able to pull out, getting the satellite, at least getting the tie in the satellites. That's significant. Because if I don't get the tie in the satellites, I have 3 less, they have 3 more, and all of a sudden my scoring mistakes actually might have made a difference, right? That's a little less satisfying. But getting exactly 11 structures on the board was super helpful. At least we beat the Atoma on that. I still haven't been able to pull off 4 federations in a while, so I feel like there's something different about my approach to the game. And I also think that it would have been interesting to see how this strategy plays out if the scoring tiles cooperated more, right? If you're getting scores for putting out trading stations, right? There wasn't a single trading station round score tile, which is rough. If I had a Federation token thing, if those advanced actions, I mean, I got 2 of them. This one probably added up to about 14, 16, 18 points. This one only gave me 3, right? So if the advanced action tokens were different, where I could actually really rack up some points, I mean, it's not that hard to imagine this game playing out to like a 200-point game, and that's super cool, right? I mean, I think it's fun they're a fun way to play. That was the most I'd ever used that conversion, but it was also the most I'd ever leaned into. Let me make sure all my trading stations are out. I mean, I was maxed out at 30 credit for the last 2 rounds. That probably says I was playing this more right than I'd ever really played them before, is my guess. Maximal Apocalypse is really light, but has some good decisions, easy to get into and fun, can be swingy with how things come out, but resolution is deterministic, which is cool. And Mike James says, I don't think I've ever hit 4 feds, Greg. I'm jealous. It's very easy with a couple of factions. It's very easy with the Ivits, which isn't like a true federation. It's also very easy with the Itars. Who's the one that, like, the swamp jumpers? The Ambas, when they jump swamps. And basically their planetary suit just keeps jumping. You are going to want to have this for sure. It's also somewhat easy with the what's the gray faction that there's stuff on gray planets, titanium planets. It's like the Furex, maybe. What's the one that there's stuff on? Or is it that's the best gods? No, that's no. Man, I was thinking. Never mind. The best gods. I forgot that the best gods are really rough. There's a faction. They're the faction that their stuff on titanium planets is +1 power. But yeah, I'm not. I'm not enamored enough with them to say it's easy to get the 4 federations. I do need to give the best gods another shot on the channel, but again, I'm just going to cycle through in the order I did the first time. So you'll see the best gods in, I don't know, 2025. Plus or minus a few months. This was cool. So I was not planning to do Gaia Project this week originally. Looked at the schedule, just felt like Gaia would have been a good fit. It had been a while. And doing something I was not familiar with, which was going to give me a chance to spend more time with both Sky Tier Horde and with Black Sonata. We'll be getting those on the channel in the next 2 days. I think Sky Tier Horde is tomorrow, so that will be first. So super excited about that. Questions, comments, epiphanies, put them in the comment section below. If you want to see what's coming up, as I always say, go to my Patreon page. The link is in the description below. You can go to my April's public post, which is up there, and kind of see some of the titles that will be coming up in the upcoming weeks and months. Muddy, nice game. I came late. Don't know how built. That's the weirdest build I ever seen. Everything is in one corner. I can see 2 corners would have from setup. How did you make the 3rd corner? Yeah, it's really strange. So these were 2 from setup, and then I got the Lost Planet out and threw the Lost Planet there, which is range 4-1. Did I cheat with the Lost Planet? The Lost Planet should be here. One of them mattered at all. It's because how? 1, 2. Yeah, I goofed. The Lost Planet I just moved in a wrong spot, which would have potentially affected where they built. I'm not going to stress it too much. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I somehow just counted 1 too many with the Lost Planet. I should have had that there. But then they were on this Gaia planet, so they would have got that wouldn't have affected their placement at all because they were still 2 away from that. And closest to me, I don't think would have mattered. What does that do for satellites? That does change some things. Interesting, because the satellites would now have to be different. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the Lost Planet, if it was here, I would have had another ore, and I did end with 3 credits, so I would have turned. I would have had a turn. I could have turned credit into ore, easy. So I would have had this play. I would have 1 less point. to make that happen. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I would have had an extra satellite, which is actually better because 7 satellites means I would have beat the Atoma. So that's 3 more points. That's -3. I would have had the resources to make that happen, and I don't think. I think the way the things worked, I don't think it would have mattered all that much. Even when you factor in cycling and whatnot, because I got this out pretty quick, and then I built this pretty quick. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. I built that the same, so that all should have been about the same, to be honest. So, um, yeah, that's crazy. Math is hard, dude. But yeah, so we started here. I had this out quick. This was my first federation was over here. I came back here, built this out, and then we got the Lost Planet, and then kind of built over there. Yeah, it was a really weird game, Marty, for sure. Guy is always welcome, says Mike James. Marty says, cool. I think I would have given you more points on satellite. Yeah. Yeah. It would have. It would have. Yeah. It would. The only thing that might have been different is whether or not he would have built there based on closest to me. Um, I still think he does. I might just not have been able to cycle, so that becomes like the tension there. But in a 9-point game, I don't. I think I would have had ways around that, and there were a couple of cycling opportunities I didn't take. Now these last 2 power I got because I got the Federation token up here. But so that's why I had to spend the ore to get the power of my cycle, and I just spent 1 instead of 2. I think what happened is that was how it was originally set up, and I think I accidentally shifted it because I counted 7. I think that was probably here. I counted 7, and then all of a sudden it became 6. So I ended up going back and redoing that. So yeah, that's a slight little placement mistake for me. But it's a Lost Planet, damn it. The Lost Planet should be 19. The other thing I wanted to build it. That was already taken, so I did want to build that there because then I was in the neighborhood because I could build a satellite. I could build a mine there, and then would have been able to build the trading station. So yeah, that would have been the final game state, and then the score would have been plus or minus a little bit. I mean, even if I don't, no, I needed that 10 because then I did this, which gave me 7. I mean, worst case, I just don't have the 4 to cycle that, but then I cycle whatever was there. I just had I would have gotten 3 credits that way because again, every power is a credit. So I think there would have been a raise around it, um, even with that with 1 less credit. So because I ended the game with 3. I don't know, changes things a wee bit, but again, I don't think it would have been a thing, so I'm not going to stress it too much. I didn't see the whole thing. I just didn't see you being annoyed about them going in the resource track. It's really cool catching up late game. Yeah, dude. It's like, no! Yeah, that was really bad. That was absolutely rough. Huh. Yeah, it's crazy. Math is hard, dude. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I was originally going to go over here, and then they ended up building on a transit planet over there. So it seemed like that was a better play. Definitely a better play. And then I just don't know the order of when I cycled off of what. No, that was built pretty quick. I do think they still would have built there. And then I built this late. So that would have made sense because as long as that was in place before they built this, it's not a thing. And I'm pretty sure that was the case. And then everything else would have been exactly the same, except I would have had to spend 1 more ore to get the last satellite. And I would have made up the difference with how much credit I spent. And I would have got 1 less point in the end because I would have had 3 less credit. So that seems to be how that would have gone down. But yeah, this is a fun game, man. It's like a lot of these. I remember when I started putting Gaia on the channel and I was randomizing who I was starting with because I didn't. It's like when you're new to a game, you don't fully appreciate like how different the factions are and like how it's like this is you're not just playing Gaia Project, you're playing Gaia Project as the Hadsch Hallas, right? Like, and I think it's almost like Maze Knight. When you first start playing Maze Knight, like all the heroes feel relatively the same, and then you just realize, oh no, like you have to approach the game differently, and it requires a different thought process. And I wasn't doing the factions justice. I was like still relatively new at the game, um, and I quickly, I think it was my third video in, where it's like, all right, I'm messing this up. I'm gonna totally take a new approach, and I think my Gaia videos really got a lot better because I was much more focused in my practice time off camera to try to get these things ready. So we'll see. I think next is, who's next? I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know why I'm talking like a Muppet. But because Muppets are cool, people. Muppets are cool. Next is the Geodens. Very nice. The Geodens have that trap, right? Especially when I play multiplayer. Like, I feel like you're so focused on getting every planet type that I think you can lead yourself put yourself in a bind by focusing too much on that. Like, that is their thing, but I think it's almost like Hadsch Hallas for me is like, I think when I played it before, I was doing this too much without leaning into the fact that I needed to get the economy going to make that work. I think the Geodens might be similar, where if I'm leaning into the fact that, hey, they get 2 knowledge every new planet type, you better make sure that you have all your mines on the board to make that work, right? So you're getting that ore income. But obviously, the more mines you have on the board, you better make sure you still have mines available to take in those planet types that are going to be harder for you to build on until you get your terraforming track way up, right? So there's like going to be a give and take to that. But yeah. So this game, man, I absolutely just love what this game does and how it forces me to really totally think through every game as a new challenge, and think through like, hey, what are the scoring? Where's the opportunities to get points? Um, and even without a ton of great opportunities to get points in this game, we got our points through Federation tokens. We got our points through really spamming this, turning credits into QIC to get 3 tech tiles. That is not something that I would have ever considered doing in this game until this playthrough. So that was really fun. But good times were had by all. I'll be back tomorrow. Again, it's going to be an earlier start on Thursday and Friday. We're starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So do the math accordingly wherever the heck you are, or Eastern Daylight Time. I don't know. EST, EDT. When does one start, one begin? I don't know. Google it. Figure out what time I'm on. It's 11 a.m. in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That's all I can know, for sure. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. Sky Tier Horde. Friday, Black Sonata. Next week, I'm looking at Darkest Night 2nd Edition with a patron challenge from Philip. It's definitely time to get that done. And I will probably try to get votes for women on the channel. I'm probably going to take a week or 2 break from Spirit Island and Mage Knight to get some other stuff featured. And again, I'm ramping up very strongly for my top 10 video at the end of the month, which would be really, really fun. So I'm excited about that. So thank you for a lively chat. Mike, Saget, Eric, Marty coming in late. Who else is here? Brian and Zach and Mike Owens and Alfred. I hope, Alfred, you are not snowed in too much, and go make a snow angel for me if you are. All right, I appreciate it. That's about it. Thanks for joining me. Until next time, happy gaming.
Solo.